Welcome to Beyond 60 Seconds. I'm your host, Reverend Harvey Rhodes. Today, we're going to talk about something that our society do not invest in, and that is mental health. May is considered Mental Health Month. According to the National Alliances of Mental Health, 1 in 5 experience mental health problems each year. Mental Health American published a report on states on mental health. The top 10 states, Texas was second as the highest with serious mental health issues. Access to mental health, Texas was ranked number 50 out of 50 states. Today I have a very wonderful guest to discuss this topic, and that is Miss Anissa Stovall. Welcome, Miss Anissa Stovall. Now, let's talk about Miss Anissa Stovall. I have a bio before me. Miss Stovall, the founder of Jordan Safe Place. In May 2019, her son, Jordan, was diagnosed with schizophrenia bipolar disorder. As a mother, she stated it was hard. It was the hardest thing to see her child hurting over something he had no control. She tried everything in her power to get him the help he needed, but faced many roadblocks and red tape because he was considered an adult. During the process, she learned so much about mental health. While I'm no expert, I do know there's a need to be a change within our community and the stigma associated with mental health. Unfortunately, Ms. Stovall's son Jordan lost his life while in a panic state on February 10th, 2021, and was shot by police. Her son's loss has taught her that change needs to occur. I decided to be his voice to help others. So, Ms. Stovall, thank you for being a part of Beyond 60 Seconds. I just have a few questions for you today. First of all, are you from Austin?
Technically, no. I was born in Gonzales, Texas, and I came to Austin as a child. So Austin is home.
Okay. Now, what is the name of your nonprofit and why did you start it?
The name of the nonprofit is Jordan Safe Place. I started it after the passing of my son. I wanted to be his voice, as I stated in my bio. I want to bring about a change in our community. I want to bring awareness of mental illness to our community, and I want to help someone.
Okay. Now, do you think our society takes mental health seriously?
I would say it's about 50-50. If it's someone that has dealt personally with mental illness, I think they may take it seriously. But others that don't really know someone that has suffered from mental illness or not really familiar with it, I don't think they take
Right.
it serious.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask this question. With all the red tape and roadblocks that you ran against, were you allowed to get any help for Jordan?
Only when he accepted the help,
Okay.
only when he approved the help. And
Okay.
I learned that when they're an adult, you have no control. And
Okay.
so at the time that Jordan was suffering his mental crisis this last time, I had became aware that I should seek guardianship.
Mhm.
Now, before I was told I should do power of attorney. Power of attorney you really doesn't offer you any options to help, but guardianship provides you that platform to where you can uh, basically they look to you for the answer. It's not up to like it wouldn't be up to Jordan. Had I had guardianship, it wouldn't be up to Jordan to accept the help.
Okay.
My decision. And
Okay.
so this last time I was in the process of filing for guardianship when this occurred.
Okay. Thank you for that. I just wanted our audience to know what it takes to get help for someone that's an adult. Are there many warning signs that one should look for when dealing with people with mental health issues?
Usually, there will be their behavior. You would notice some changes in maybe their friends that they're hanging with. You would notice changes in far as social media. If it's a young person, you would notice a change in social media. And it's where it's very excessive posting on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. If it's excessive and that's something that they've never done before, that's kind of, like, hey, something's going on here.
Okay. Is there some lesson we can learn when dealing with people that have mental health issues?
Is there some lessons that we could learn?
Yeah. What can we learn from dealing with people with mental health issues?
I think if we would just take the time to really understand their thought process,
Right.
and to really gain an understanding of where they're at and meet them where they're at, I think that would be helpful. And I also think one thing that bothers me the most in Jordan's case is he didn't want to talk about it. And I talked about it with him, but I don't feel like I talked about it enough because I was always scared I was going to upset him. And I didn't want to upset him because I didn't want him to leave. And I didn't want our relationship to just be, this constant battle over his mental health. And I think when you don't talk about it, it's even harder for them to accept. They already don't want to accept it, but when no one talks about it, then you're kind of agreeing with them as far as not accepting it.
Okay. Thank you. Was it hard for you to approach? Because I know as parents, and I heard you say you didn't want to upset him. Was it really hard to tackle some of the topics that you wanted to talk to him about, to maybe offer some help for him? Or did he deny that anything was wrong with him?
Oh, he denied it. Nothing was wrong with him. He denied it. Um, he denied it quite often. And like I said, I did talk with him, but not as often as I wish I should have. And that was the thing. It was only coming from me. And I wish the family, we all would have just talked about it. That way I wasn't looking like the bad guy all the time when I talked to him. And so when Jordan would start slipping, I was the first one that he tried to hide from because he knew that I would know, that I would pick up on those signs because nobody else picked up on those signs.
Okay. Thank you. Now, what would you like to say to your local state, and federal government when dealing with mental health issues? What would you like to say to people that's in authority, the ones that make the laws in the city, state, and the federal government about mental health?
That we, the community, need help. The hospital needs help. The mental hospitals need help. We have the mental hospitals in place, but from my experience, they only medicate. That's all they did was medicate. And the time last year, Super Bowl Sunday, when I checked Jordan into the hospital, that was Super Bowl Sunday of 2020. He stayed there 2 weeks. They did not want to release him to me. And it was an ongoing battle for me to get him released. So when he was finally released to me, we had to literally bring Jordan back to life. We had to help him eat. We had to help him dress. And it was just, it was unbelievable. And that was my son. That was my child. And we literally had to take care of him as a newborn baby almost. And it took us months to get him back to himself.
Okay. All right.
So and I know there's people there in the hospitals that care, but then there's those that are there just to do a job. I dealt with all of them. I dealt with all of them there at the hospitals, and I get it. They're underpaid. That we know they're underpaid, and it is a lot of work. Um, but we need something to be done. I mean, mental health is just like anything else. Whether it's cancer, we're not ashamed of cancer. We get help for cancer. There's all types of avenues for help with cancer. And so mental health is the same thing. It's not anything to be ashamed of.
Right. Okay. Okay. So basically what you're saying, we need more, probably more money.
Yes.
We need to make mental health one of the number one topics, because when you look around the world and in America, a lot of police issues are dealing with people with mental health.
Yes.
Right there. So we need to have a better awareness on mental health and have professionals dealing with mental health. I'm a firm believer that you don't call a policeman for someone that's dealing with mental health. I think there has to be some kind of avenue. I can understand them being there to be safe, but somebody else should be taking charge of the situation when you're dealing with people with mental health. Right there. Okay, well, thank you for that. What would you like to say to people dealing with mental health, those that are trying to fight through it? What would you like to say to them, like your son Jordan? What would you say to them?
That it's okay to not be okay. It really is. And that the battle that you're facing is like any other battle. And you just have to take the initiative to get the help you need, stay the course, stay focused, and just continue to persevere.
Okay. Now, what would you say to families? Because anybody that's going through something in mental health affects the family. What would you say to families that have loved ones that are struggling with mental health issues?
First, I would say pray. If you're a believer, I would say pray. I would say contact as many resources that are available to you. I would also advise families to not discuss their situations with someone that is not familiar with mental illness. And I say that because my first experience with Jordan, I talked to many people and they weren't aware of mental illness, but everybody wanted to tell me that, oh, he's on drugs. And, I knew he wasn't a person that did drugs. And so then I started second guessing myself. Well, maybe he did do drugs. So then I'm asking his brother, and his brother's like, no, he wouldn't do drugs. And, I believe that, but other people, when they get involved and they're not familiar with it, they will have you confused, confused. Many people said, well, he's an adult, let him figure it out. But until it's your child, until it's somebody you love,
right,
you don't know how bad it hurts. And so it's hard to let go. And as a mother, I don't believe you should.
Okay.
And it was mental illness. I saw mental illness growing up. Both my uncles had mental illness. One committed suicide, but my family didn't talk about it. They said they were on drugs. They said they were alcoholics. And so I don't know why it was better to say they were on drugs or alcohol than to just say the truth that it was a mental illness. But we were brought up that way, that it's embarrassing to have a mental illness. There's something wrong with you if you have a mental illness. And it's not. It's just like anything else. It can be taken care of.
Right. Right. That is so true, because people do not want to put that on their families, that they got somebody in their family that has a mental problem. I really appreciate you opening up and saying those things, because families need to understand that it's about support system. You need a support.
Yes.
Your mom needs support. You know, and dealing with someone with mental illness, it takes the whole family to support one another. Because when you get tired and mom get tired, somebody has to be there for you guys. Be there for you guys. If it's just being there and saying everything gonna be all right, what you need, you know, what can I help you with? You know, so many times we have people come in and want to criticize or put the blame on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. So thank you for opening up. Now, how can someone get help when dealing with mental health? How can someone get some help? What do they need to do? You know, who they need to call?
They can go to what you'll have to do is you have to go here in Austin. You have to go to the emergency room, and the person has to be willing to ask for help, or they're not going to do anything. Also, the hospital at St. David's, the mental hospital at St. David's, they will take you in. But again, the person has to agree. And if you're familiar with mental illness, usually when they're in that manic state, they are not going to agree to help. They're just not. Their mind tells them no. Their mind tells them that those people are trying to hurt them. And their mind sometimes tells them that even their family is trying to hurt them.
Oh, that's real important.
Yeah, and so that's the biggest thing. Family, if you have someone that's an adult, please get guardianship. Please get guardianship. If you're going through that, get guardianship. And also do it when they're not in an episode. That way because they have to sign the papers also. But if you can get it done while they're not having an episode, it's a lot easier.
Okay. See, that's important for families to know that right there, because it's new to everybody when it happens. And you got to have somebody that can give you a way to go, who to turn to. Now, my next question is, what kind of services does your nonprofit offer?
At this time, we are offering resources for anyone that is dealing with mental health. They can contact me and I will connect them depending on the situation. I will connect them where they need to be connected.
Okay.
That's what we're currently doing now. Then we have our event next Saturday. That is our first mental health awareness event. It's the first annual. So that is next Saturday at 11:30 at Midtown Live. And we have some good speakers that will be there. We have someone from the National Alliance from NAMI. She'll be there speaking also. And we're going to also do a prayer and balloon release at the end for families to pray for their loved ones that are suffering from mental illness.
Okay. Do you have a website that you would like to tell everybody about and your phone number?
I can give you my phone number. My phone number is 512-963-5857. You can also email us at jordanplace@outlook.com, or you can reach us on Facebook.
Okay.
And that's at Jordan Safe Place.
Okay. Well, thank you. I was looking at the bottom of your profile. Also, Jordan Safe Place is a faith-based place for families to seek assistance, peer-to-peer support, monthly family well checks. Jordan's Christmas includes providing dinner, gifts, utility assistance. Jordan Walton Scholarship will be available also in 2022.
Yes, sir. Those are all the things that I am working on.
Okay. All right. Now, Ms. Stovall needs some volunteers. I see down here she's willing to take on some volunteers, all resources, because money does help. Money does help to get things across. So any donation, you can go to Bismo at Jordan Safe Place. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know, I would like to thank you for taking the time out, because mental health is something that our society do not like to talk about. We like to brush it under the rug there. And we have so many, you know, it said 1 in 5 is dealing with mental health issues. And that's from PTSD all the way through bipolar, everything that you consider right there. Somebody's dealing with things. And we want to thank you again. We want to thank our audience for taking the time to be a part of Beyond 60 Seconds. And reach out to Miss Anissa Stovall. Let her know that you care and mental health is an issue. If you have issues in your family, reach out to her. Now, as we close, Ms. Stovall, is there anything you would like to say, a final comment to our audience?
I just hope that if you're in the Austin and surrounding areas, that you will join us Saturday on the 29th at 11:30 a.m. at Midtown Live. And that's here in Austin, Texas. We will have our first annual mental health awareness event, and we'd like to see you out there. If there is anything that you need help with, please contact me. If I don't know, I'll find out for you.
Okay. Thank you. And again, we want to thank you. I'm going to give you a big hand. Thank you for doing this. I know it's hard. Each day is a struggle, but you speaking for Jordan and people that need help. And we want to ask God for blessing on your place, Jordan Safe Place. So we're going to tune off right now. You can check us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm your host, Mr. Harvey Rose, and be blessed.